of the ocean used to survive on breadfruit. From the same family as mulberry and jackfruit, breadfruit is similar in texture to freshly cooked bread and tastes a little like a potato. Breadfruit can be found growing worldwide, used for food, medicine, boat building, and to prevent erosion of hillsides. All parts of the tree are used, and they are an important part of the ecosystem, wherever they grow. There are hundreds of breadfruit varieties, and many look completely different from the standard green orb often seen in photos. You can plant in containers in cooler areas and move outside in the summer. Breadfruits need full sun. If you have them planted in pots, rotate them throughout the day to follow the sun if they don't get enough in one spot. One of the great things about breadfruit is it can thrive in a variety of soils, but they prefer soil that is fertile, deep, and drains well. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Watch for thunderstorms in the area this morning through this evening. Today will be cloudy with a thunderstorm, humid with a high of 82 to 86. Then watch for a thunderstorm around this evening. Otherwise, rather cloudy tonight, low 72 to 75. We'll have a blend of sun and clouds on Friday with a couple of thunderstorms. High tomorrow, 85 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
It's rodeo time in Ocala. The 39th annual Ocala Shrine Rodeo returns to the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion September 3rd and 4th, 7:30 nightly. Witness the superstars of the PRCA as cowboys ride to help children walk. For tickets and information, check out OcalaShrineRodeo.com for broncs, bulls, and babes. The Ocala Shrine Pro Rodeo, September 3rd and 4th, 7:30 nightly.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Thursday, hour number 3. And what better way to kick off hour number 3 than to talk about some things that are very near and dear to my heart, and that's food. Yeah, if you know me, you know that I just told you the most honest thing that I've probably said in a long time on this radio. And soul food, especially because I grew up on the east side of Jacksonville, lived in South Georgia for a very long time. And the difference between good country cooking and good soul food, well, I promise you, there's not a whole lot of difference. Lady J from Celebrity Soul Food, she's joining us. Dr. J was supposed to join us, but he's been detained. So the better half joins us now. Lady J, good morning.
Yes, sir.
You know, when I talked to Dr. J last time, him and I had we had a moment where he was like, yeah, I know you know your way around the kitchen pretty good because we were talking about oxtail and neck bone and everything back then. We were having a good time talking about food.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah!
If you know about that, if you know about oxtail and neck bones, then you absolutely know about soul food.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, I grew up on the east side of Jacksonville, where soul food is part of it. But I also grew up, where chitlins. If you can stand the smell of them being cooked, you can't beat how they taste.
Oh
you can't beat how they taste.
God. I'm gonna have to get an offer letter to you.
Hey, now you're opening a Celebrity Soul Food, and the flagship restaurant location is going to be right here in Ocala.
That is absolutely a fact. Let's be clear that at the end of the day, we decided to land and open up the first location here, and we are just absolutely excited about it. And it's the first of 200 stores, so it's a big deal.
Tomorrow at noon. You're going to have a grand opening at 2237 Southwest 19th Avenue, Suite 102. Tell people exactly where that is, because that sounds like a good location and all number-wise, but tell people actually where that is.
Absolutely. First of all, it was so important for us to elevate soul food. So for us, it's taking soul food and putting it in prime real estate. So you're absolutely right. Now, I'm not from Florida, so you guys call it Easy Street, which is on 19th Avenue Road. Everybody, when I say 19th Avenue Road being proper, they say, no, that's Easy Street.
That's Easy Street.
So you guys, that's Easy Street. So it is on Easy Street. It is just north of Sonics on the right-hand side. right down from Walmart. So it is a prime location, and we are super excited. It is in the facility where Dr. Kim has his neurology practice. So I'm excited to have you guys here.
Now, what I like is also at your grand opening, there's going to be a great cause because you guys are collecting new and used laptops and tablets to support area foundations. Area's foundation will be on hand to accept cash donations. All contributions will benefit local school children and help them equip with necessary technology for learning. So not only are you going to feed people, you're going to help people as well.
That is our mission. That really is our claim to fame. Dr. J, who is our CEO, one of his statements is that in order to be good, you have to do good. And so for us, we're very deliberate and very intentional in making an impact. So we're excited to be in this Ocala market, the great Ocala, one of the fastest growing, cities in the country. But we want to make sure making an intention. There are a lot of things that's happening in our country right now. And so to put a smile on somebody's, face or to move the deficit line is definitely something near and dear to our heart.
Let's talk about for a minute two things that you brought together. Red velvet and bundt cake. You don't have a red velvet cake. You don't have a bundt cake. You have a red velvet bundt cake. We got look. Why are you not in studio, and why is there not a red velvet bundt cake right in front of me?
I owe you. Look, I owe you. You have a red velvet bundt cake with your name on it here at the restaurant. Look, absolutely. One of the things that we wanted to do again in elevating soul food, one is that we have a pork-free zone, so there is no pork. Doc said years saying, hey, what we had to use in terms of ingredients and resources years ago is different today, right?
Right.
And so in the elevation, we have a red velvet bundt cake. It's about being creative. You can do anything with food these days. So we have elevated that bundt cake, and look, it has a sauce that's drizzling and melted warm. Look, ready with some ice cream.
See what you're doing to me. See what you're doing to me. See what you're doing to me. Now, this ain't going to be a small restaurant either. It's almost 4,000 square feet.
That is correct, yes. And it is the vibe. It's our culture. One is service all day. And then just to have an environment where people can come and let their hair down and relax. So it's got that, that old school, R&B going on and, high class, high level A-class servers and greeters and hostess. We are here to roll out the red carpet to Ocala.
Now, Rudolph Roll, he's the franchisee of the Ocala Celebrity Soul Food. He says his quote was, residents and visitors of Ocala and beyond will be delighted with what Dr. J and Lady J have created. Tell us about, I'm interested in this seafood pineapple bowl. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Oh, my God. That's my favorite. Let me tell you something. That seafood bowl has a base of rice, and then it has chicken and shrimp and lobster and crab legs on top of it with a drizzle. And I can assure you it is by far in my top two of what I love. The next is Dr. J's Clam and Macaroni and Cheese.
See, we talked about his Slam and Macaroni and Cheese last time he's on here. You can't never go wrong with your good macaroni and cheese.
Absolutely. And it has to be cheesy. Let's be clear, macaroni and cheese is the cheese.
Now, this is the first store. This will be the flagship store. But you have grandiose plans. 200 stores you're going to open.
Yes, sir. And I do want to say this because I'm sure we have franchisees that are listening that have flown in for this event. So we have franchisees that are here from Utah, Tennessee, from Oklahoma, from Orlando, from Los Angeles. And then, of course, we have we just picked up our amazing celebrity guest, the legendary Sugar Ray Leonard, his son, Sugar Ray Leonard Jr. is here. First African-American karate champion in the world, Donnie Williams, is here. Daddy was on Kung Fu back in the day with Bruce Lee. And so these are partners and people that are rallying behind Dr. J and myself with this 200-store rollout. So we have about 54 that are in development in some things across the country right now, and we're excited to open up the first one in this great city.
When I was growing up, when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, you would go to the Norwood Twin Theaters, the Golden Blue Theaters, and right next to it was called Grandma's Soul Food. and you would go, you'd go get some popcorn shrimp, some spicy popcorn shrimp as a 9-year-old, and you would sneak that into the Norwood Blue and Gold to watch Kung Fu pictures on Saturday, the double feature. So soul food and Kung Fu movies go hand in hand.
Look, I'm gonna tell Mr. Williams that you said that, you signature that. Well, we want people to have, when I listen to you have memories that you're fond of that give you a smile, and that's what soul food does. It brings families and communities together. And so for us, we wanted to scale it so that everybody is welcomed into this environment. And it doesn't matter if you're, if you just got off of work and you want to come in, or if you and your kids want to come have a great weekend. If you're older and you just don't feel like, let us do the cooking for you as one of our tags. But at Celebrity Soul Food, you're the star. So we are looking forward to having events here. We have 2 private events rooms, Rodeo Drive and Hollywood Boulevard, where you can have events. And we already have some booked for this weekend, some birthday parties. So Celebrities is just going to be a place where we can bring this community together and unify them with the love of our food.
I am looking forward to it because I used to go to a place called Lee's Restaurant in Statesboro, Georgia, where I went to college and everything. And Lee's was one of those places. It was on the other side of the tracks, as it were. Back in the day, that's where they would say the other side of the tracks. But it was amazing to me. I always thought, all these Bubbas and Earls that don't want to be on the other side of the track, during lunch, they're all at Miss Lee's restaurant eating.
look, absolutely. But you know what? I think Doc he was interviewed on Fox, and they said, why has this never been done before? And it's the scaling it. You should be able to go to, any soul food restaurant across the country and get the same quality of food. So it's our pleasure to be the first in the country to ever scale soul food. It's just a historical, history-making moment. And we're just excited that God has allowed us to be entrusted to do it.
And people don't understand. They say Celebrities soul food. Why is it soul food? And you will agree with this. Mama Lee, who was the lady that cooked at Lee's restaurant 35 years ago, I asked her, I go, why is it not just country food? Like us white folks cook the same thing. We call it country food. You call it soul food. She goes, son, the food I cook touches your soul.
Absolutely. Quote and unquote. Look, absolutely.
She meant that too. Meant every moment of it, every word of it. So now tomorrow at the grand opening, is it a VIP only, or is it the public invited? How's that working?
The public is invited. Everyone that is listening, you are welcome. Call someone, text somebody. Look, it's the message someone and let them know that it's going down here on Easy Street. The grand opening is at 12 o'clock. We will be doing the official ribbon cutting at 12:30. The great Kevin Sheely and the CEP, of course, will be here, and all of the great leaders of this city. So we are excited again, and everyone and all is welcome.
When you see a fat guy with a neck that looks like it should be the thigh of another human being, I'm just going to walk up and hold my hand out, and I expect red velvet bundt cake to be put in my hand.
Let me be clear. I would say get him his red velvet bundt cake right now.
But Lady Jane, thanks so much for calling in and taking time out with us. And I look forward to the grand opening tomorrow, and much success to 200 soul food restaurants throughout the country.
Thank you so much for having us on. God bless you, and we look forward to serving this community.
Red velvet bundt cake. Man, I tell you what. Thank you, ma'am.
God bless.
Red velvet bundt cake. I got to have some of that, folks. I ain't lying to you. Bundt cake is fantastic, and red velvet cake is fantastic. When you combine the two of them, I got to have that. We'll be right back after this short time out. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Shamrock Security Systems, 629-3223. Shamrock Security Systems is located here in Ocala, Florida. Shamrock Security Systems is a top-rated alarm company offering 24/7 monitoring, video surveillance, fire and flood protection. You'll sleep a little better once the job is done. Shamrock Security Systems for over 31 years. 629-3223. Get a 100% free quote from Shamrock Security. 629-3223.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can.